you're a buyer or a seller, I think you will be happy with what is happening right now in the Twin Cities real estate market. My name is Schumann. I'm a realtor here in the Twin Cities. I welcome questions. You can comment down below, or if you want, you can reach out via email or phone. My contact information is in the description box down below this video. To access that, all you need to do if you're on a mobile device is to tap the title of the video and that will pop open for you. Today, I just have a quick update on the Twin Cities real estate market for July 2021, including how the market has changed in the past month and what kinds of offers are being accepted by sellers right now. I love that last bit of data because it is so valuable to see on a higher level view what types of offers are being accepted by sellers. This information started being sent out to us in early spring, and while every transaction is different, the trends in offers are enlightening. So let's start with the market as a whole. After a steady climb in home prices since the beginning of 2021, we are seeing the market flatten out a bit. The median single-family home price for the Twin Cities region stayed nearly level. It actually declined by a whopping $100, and it is at $379,900. The same can be said for townhouses, which are at $259,900, down $100 from $260,000 last month. Condos are the one area that showed a legitimate dip in price, from $203,500 down to $200,000. While $3,000 isn't a lot of money in the scheme of things, at that price point, it does represent a 1.5% decrease in the median price for condos. We are seeing an uptick in the number of months supply of single-family homes. At one point earlier, we are seeing an uptick in the number of months supply of single-family homes. At one point earlier this year, we were down to a couple of weeks worth of available homes, which actually meant that things were selling in a couple of days. Usually they would take offers starting on the first day and through the weekend, and then they would accept one and be in some sort of contingent status for a period of time, and that all accumulates as market time. So we are now up to 1.2 months supply, and for context, we can consider it a balanced market at 5 to 6 months supply. The lower the number, the more it favors sellers. So while we are coming out of a very painful time for buyers to some degree, it is still a seller's market in the Twin Cities region. For the macro view, comparing today's market to a normal market, which was pre-COVID or 2019, showing activity has dropped 8% overall, but that is not across the board. Some segments of the market have actually had increased interest. For example, listings above $300,000 saw increased showing activity compared to the same time period in July 2019. Sellers have not been quite as active as they were. Listings are down 21.8% overall. This does not hold true for every price range, however. Homes listed between $500,000 and $750,000 saw a 27.5% increase in supply in listings compared to a normal market in 2019. While listings priced above this category also saw increased supply on average. Buyer activity, which was regularly going through the roof in the first half of this year, has since calmed down to a more stable pattern of demand, which is a big relief for buyers in general. Will there still be multiple offers? Quite possibly if the home is priced properly and in good condition. When sellers try to price at the top of the market, it can really backfire. Overall pending sales are level with 2 years prior, but every price point actually has a distinct market of its own. Listings below $250,000 saw decreased demand, down at least 29.7%, while homes priced above $350,000 saw increased demand, up at least 44.8% or greater. As of the end of July, the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage in the United States is at an average of 2.8%, so still really low. I love looking at this over time because earlier this year it was like a bacchanalian feast for sellers, and for buyers it was like being thrown in with the lions in the Colosseum in Rome. They needed to fight for survival. So this data is provided to agents by the Minnesota Transaction Coordinators Company. It's a company that helps agents across the metro process and manage transactions. The current offer acceptance rate is 55%. Earlier this year, we were hovering around the 30% mark, and that was an exhausting place to be for buyers, especially those that had any type of contingency at all. The current cancellation rate on purchase agreements is 8%, mostly during the inspection time frame. Speaking of inspections, right now they are being waived by buyers about 34% of the time, and this is a major improvement over earlier this year when we were seeing rates close to 50%. I'm going to reiterate something I said in the past. I think an inspection is a really important thing for buyers and sellers and their agents. It protects everyone. Okay, pre-market sales or private off-market sales are up 6.6% after a steady couple of months of decline. Average purchase price to list price is down a little bit at 102.5%. So if you're a buyer, you're not going to get a big discount on a home typically, but it was over 105% earlier this year. This statistic is still good for sellers, and it also shows that things are getting a little bit better for buyers. Okay, how are people financing their purchases? Well, cash purchases have increased to 14%. Conventional loans are down a little bit to 71%. FHA has increased to 8%, which is a great thing to see for first-time buyers. This was a really weak spot earlier. VA is up slightly to 4%. USDA loans are at 2%, and other like contract for deed is showing about 1% of the time. One of the most heartening pieces of information or data for buyers is that seller-paid closing costs are included 26% of the time. It's the highest it's been since March, and it looks like these are actually genuinely being paid by the seller because the average purchase price to list price for transactions including seller-paid closing costs is 100%, and only about 17% of these versus the 30% plus are actually waiving home inspection. Home warranties included in the contract are at 8.12%, and sales contingent upon the sale of the buyer's property are at 10.15%. I've been saying every month to try to avoid this particular contingency if possible, and I still maintain that that is the best course of action if possible, but trends don't lie, statistics don't lie. Sellers seem to be accepting this more and more. Okay, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are interested in getting more information about what it's like to live in the Twin Cities, what the different suburbs and neighborhoods are like, and what is happening in the real estate market here right now. All right, see you next week.